Alright guys, the bike is all apart. I've got the, this is where I'm at right now. I've got the jack shaft fully assembled. It's ready to go back on. And I think that's it. What's left is we got to install the motor sprocket, the chain. We got to install the guard, the plastic guard. Where is it? Right here. Okay, so I had a problem with this one. I took pictures of it, but... the chain was rubbing on one of these guys. Oh, right here. Chain was rubbing on this, and it could barely get the Allen wrench in there. Right, it made it the hole smaller. All right, so how I was able to get it out was using this guy. Okay, because since the ball end is a little bit smaller than the 3mm, I was able to get it in there and then take it out. So I'm replacing it with this. However, it's longer. All right, it's almost the same. It's like a button head Allen wrench dealy, but it's a little bit longer. So I may have to add an extra washer, is what I might do. All right, we'll add an extra washer to it, so it'll fit. All right, because these are 10mm, and the holes are the threads are 10mm also. So, but this is kind of thick too. So that's what I'm gonna say. So I think maybe we'll be okay. Yeah, it's a little bit thick. So I will add an extra washer. All right, is what I'll do. Okay, so that's what's gonna happen. All right, I gotta install this, and then yeah, put the swing arm back on, put everything back on. All right, so I've decided we're gonna install new swing arm axle and a new rear axle. So I've also got the titanium one, but that's for the dirt setup. I might see how well that fits with the Supermoto stuff, but I don't think it's gonna fit with the Supermoto sliders, unfortunately. Okay, so yeah, that's a scoop. So I'll continue with the rear end rebuild party. Oh, also check out my comparison video. All right, I made a comparison video between the stock Sauron swing arm and the KO Moto swing arm. All right, but as you can see, I'll show you guys here right now. I mentioned it in the video, the comparison video, but it's cracked. All right. Cracked it again. See right there on the bottom? It's cracked. It's cracked all the way through. Okay? It's only a matter of time before the whole thing cracks. Okay? So yeah. It hasn't gone all the way through. I'd say it's about halfway cracked, but yeah, it's no bueno, guys. The other side is okay. I'd imagine because it cracked, it flexes enough where it doesn't want to crack anymore, but I've had it with this swing arm, guys. Thanks, buddy, for all your hard work over the years. All right, but it's time to replace you. Also, another thing the next thing we got to do is transfer over the bolts from this swing arm to this one. Okay, all right. Okay, guys, I'm already ran into a problem. This plastic cover for the swing arm, not the swing arm, the jack shaft, it doesn't fit, guys. As you can see right there, see, the holes don't line up. It's close, but not lined up. I don't know why. Maybe they changed the design of the swing arm from the Sauron MX to the X, but yeah, as you can see, it doesn't line up. So what I'm gonna have to do, okay, you can see it doesn't line up. Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do is grind this thing. So see, there's like a lip here that sits on the swing arm. I'm gonna have to grind that or cut it off somehow, so it doesn't so it lets this thing swing a little lower, right? Because it won't go in there. The other one fits, but there's only one bolt on the other side. So okay, so I'll figure it out. Okay, so what am I gonna do to get this thing to fit properly is I'm gonna lop off a piece of it. All right, see that? See where I've marked it with silver marker? I'm gonna lop off all that. All right, I'm gonna lop it off with the what is it, my Dremel cutting wheel. Okay, then hopefully it'll fit. All right, because that's what's keeping it from getting lower. So okay, I am pleased to announce this swing arm is ready to go install. All right, so I've installed the adjuster nuts and bolts. All right, one thing to note is this side was harder to get than the other side. The other side I was able to thread in by hand. This side, I had to use a wrench the whole time to get it in. Okay, it was really tight. All right, not really, really tight, but You know, this like it wasn't binding or anything, so it must be, the hole must be tighter, or maybe there's some kind of, you know, debris in there or something. Who knows? Okay. Okay. And then I've got the shield on there. All right, the guard for the jack shaft. You keep all that crud away from you. All right, like I mentioned, I had to cut that. All right, to get it to fit. All right, so I grinded that, like I mentioned, where I scribed it with the silver pen. Yeah, and then it fit fine. All right, so hopefully when you put the jack shaft on there, it'll clear and everything. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna go ahead and install it. Here we go. Okay, I want to mention that before I install this, that the jack shaft is on there pretty loose. It's just kind of floating around in there. All right, it's not super tight. You can see how much play there is. That's not good. It should be a little bit tighter than that, but what can I do? So yeah, we're just gonna have to install it like that. What it's gonna do is it's gonna make the frame bend a little bit. All right, is what's gonna happen. And might I add that these are brand new spacers. Okay, so the other spacers that I have are actually shorter because I grinded them. So yeah, so surprise, it's wider. Maybe I installed something wrong. Maybe, I don't know. Really, what sets the distance from here to here is these support braces here. Okay, so maybe I installed it wrong. I'm not sure, man. It looks fine to me, man. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and install it. Brand new swing arm axle is gonna go in. All right, we're gonna grease that puppy up and stick it in there. Whew, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I've been at this for a while, man. It's like dark already, if you remember this video started when in daylight. Anyway, the swing arm is installed, guys. It installed pretty well, is what I'm gonna say. It was tight, alright? It was tight trying to get it in here. Alright, I had to use a hammer to get it in. Okay, guys, I used that dead blow hammer to help drive it in there, alright? But it's pretty tight. I feel that the swing arm kind of bent inward a little bit, all right, or flexed inward, so it would fit in there. And then the primary drive is in there, all right. So you can see, hopefully there's no play. I've got it torqued in there already, and there it is. So it's nice and tight. Good. I'm really happy with that. All right. So next thing to do is oh yeah. Okay, so now I'm having a problem. The next step is to, I've got the last thing I did was I installed the primary drive sprocket, all right, the front sprocket, and then, yeah, but it's not torqued yet. I'm going to torque it when we put the chain in there. Everything installed fine, all this installed fine. Like I said, it was tight getting in here. I'd imagine it probably pushed the frame out a little bit. I'm not going to lie, so my frame is like cockeyed like this, like that, right? When I loosened the swing arm bolt, I could see the frame flex like this. It opened up, all right. So it was like this, all right. It was too tight in there, or like it was too small. So the frame was like, it made the frame smaller to accommodate for that. Well, now we got the proper size swing arm and the proper size jack shaft. So now it's too tight, all right. So I think it had been in that position, that inward position, for so long that like it kind of just stuck there a little bit, all right. And I forced it in there, so, but it's fine, all right. I pulled up on the swing arm a little bit, so the swing arm is installed. Now the next problem I'm having is this guy, all right. I'm trying to install the flap, the Sauron little flapper mudguard dealie, all right. So now I know what this is for, guys. Now I know what the hole is for on the bottom of the swing arm support. All right, those holes were designed to mount to this. All right, so this is actually going to mount to the the license plate thing, and then it's gonna and then you got to bolt it here. You got to clamp it. All right, that's the clamp right there. All right, see that bar there? We're gonna clamp it with this. All right, and then the bottom part, it's supposed to clamp like right here, right around here. All right, and then there's this part flapping around here. This metal part here is actually supposed to, you're supposed to rivet it onto here. All right, with these plastic rivets. Yeah, these guys. All right, see these plastic rivets here? Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the holes for it anymore, guys. So that's what the holes are for on the bottom bracket. All right, I mean the bottom thing. I always thought it was for a pedal kit, but I guess maybe it is for the pedal kit, but it's also so you can install this flappy thing. Okay, so so what I'm going to do is we're going to install this. All right, we're going to install the top part, and then I'm going to clamp it on where it clamps, and then we're just going to trim off the excess. Okay, I'm just going to make it so it's like kind of loose. All right. Yeah, because anyway, the swing arm is at its most extended position right now, so like if I make it tight, it's fine. Because when we sit on the bike, all right, when the bike sags, it's gonna loosen up, all right. So so you just want to make it. I think you want to make it taut, all right. Make it tight as it's when it's fully extended like it is right now. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so that's the plan. I'll take a picture. So, all right. Oh yeah, so another thing I'm worried about is I'm using the grit shift license plate light and tail light and license plate holder, and I've what's the word? It's made out of plastic. It's 3D printed plastic. I haven't broke it yet, but it's going to be hanging off of this, all right? But like I said, it's probably not going to, it's not going to be super tight. It's just going to be flopping around, all right? Okay, so that's a scoop. I'll let you know how it goes. Alright, HadesOmega here. I got the brake line on there. I've got the little flap on there. Alright, like I mentioned, I had to cut it like right here. So, and that's the way it's just going to be. So there's just going to be this little, I left a little bit extra at the end. So just in case I wanted to adjust it later on, okay, if I want to make it looser. But it's at the full extension right now. Okay, and then what I also did is it's a good thing when I put these brakes, install these brakes, I added some extra brake line, if you know what I mean, all right? So it wasn't long enough to reach the brake nub before, right? Where is it at right now? I think it's at the max. Yeah, I think it's at... Okay, this is the max right here. Okay, but if it's all the way in, it's still got a lot of thing. Okay, it's not tight at all. Yep, got it. So at the end, yeah, it's pretty taut. So, and it's going to be going up, right? So yeah, so if it's tight, it's okay, as long as it's not super tight, you know. That's going to rip the brake line out, but it'll be fine, I think. But yeah, if it's all the way at the end, you better just change your chain, yo. Okay, yeah, I might be able to get a little bit more, but I still need some. Yeah, I need some brake line when I turn the handlebar, so that's why I didn't feed all of it through. Okay, guys. Yes, but that's with it at the max, I think. Yeah, that's at the max right now. So if the axle is over here, it should be long enough. So that's one thing you have to think about, all right, guys. When you install this swing arm, you need to have a long enough brake line to accommodate it, all right? Because it's 55 millimeters longer than the other one, all right? Now, yeah, you might be okay if you're not using the whole swing arm, right? If you're using like this part of the swing arm, maybe you'll be better, all right? So when I install the secondary drive chain, all right, the right side chain, I'll try to see if I can make it as tight as possible, all right, like this way as much as possible. But as time goes by, your chain's gonna stretch, right? And you're gonna keep on adjusting it further back, all right? So at some point it's gonna start looking like this, all right, which I think is okay, all right? I think it'll be fine like this, all right? This should slide in and out here, okay? But it's barely enough, the extra that I left, so that's good, because it was kind of too long before anyway. So I told myself, hey, leave some extra there, you never know, you may need it, and sure enough, there it is. All right, so that's my suggestion. If you're installing new brakes, you know, and you have to make your own brake lines, you have to cut your own brake lines, make sure that you make it a little bit longer, like an inch or two longer at least, you know. All right, then more than you need. Okay, so the next thing I got to do is we're going to install the chain. All right, so this is the primary drive chain. We're going to install it. I was comparing it to the old chain, the DB off, the one that was on the DB off-road chain kit, and it's the same length, same exact length. Okay, guys, this one's just so much more prettier. So I'll say, because it's brand new. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and install that. Hopefully it'll install just fine. I may have to loosen the motor mount a bit, so I already loosened the motor, so hopefully it'll fit in there nicely. Okay, so that's the next thing. Here's what we got. Okay, primary drive is installed. All right, that's it. So I torqued all this. I torqued this to 35, and I also torqued the mounts to 15 Newton meters. All right, and I adjusted the chain to 5 millimeters. Okay, it's a little tight. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that's a little on the tight side, but that's fine. It'll probably loosen up a little bit. My hope. All right. Anyway, we can give it a fire it up real quick. Woo! Yeah. All right. Brand new drivetrain. Man, this thing should be butter smooth, man. I tell you. All right. So now all we got to do is install the secondary drive chain and install the wheel, and then we'll be done. So actually, we'll probably put the wheel on first. Okay. Almost done, like 10% left. All right, HadesOmega here. Before we put the chain on, we gotta install the wheel. So when I install the wheel, we'll try this titanium axle out. I just checked if my Supermoto sliders will fit in the channel, and they will fit. Okay, so they fit in there perfectly. So that's good. And then we'll try this out. I don't think it's long enough, guys. It's probably long enough to thread in there, but it's not long enough for it to lock in. So, but we'll put it in there and we'll see how it is. What might have to wind up happening is we get a longer one of these. Okay. Also, I noticed that this doesn't go all the way. It has to go. It only goes up to here. Yeah, it only goes up to here. Maybe I can move it back a little bit, but I don't know. It should be the same as the whatchamacallit, the stock one. That's what I'm guessing. Okay, but anyway. All right, wish me luck. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, guys, so it's as I thought. The axle is not long enough. It's not long enough with the Supermoto sliders. We gotta ditch this to be able to use the titanium axle. So what I might try to do is find a longer titanium axle. Maybe there's someone sells a titanium one for the L1E, because that's an axle for L1E Suron, all right? Because the L1E Suron has the that funky fender thing in the back here, all right? That mounts to the where the axle goes. But yeah, so there it is. It's on there. Boy, is it really long. It's really long like this, man. Look at how look at the distance from this to this. That's a lot. Holy shit, dude. That makes me wonder if the hugger fender will actually fit on that, you know? Yeah, so anyway, I just gotta install the chain. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna install the Supermoto axle. So I mean the long axle. Where is that? I don't think we have a choice, but we gotta install the long axle. So is this the long one? Yeah, I think that's the long one. Yep. Okay, so we'll go install it. Another thing I noticed is the swing arm is too wide. It's a little bit wide. Now when I tighten the axle, it'll probably squeeze the swing arm like this, so it should be okay. It's pretty close. Look at it. Oh, it's on there. It looks like I need to get my wheel trued. It's like hopping up and down. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that's the scoop. We'll go. Let me go take care of that. All right, hey, HadesOmega here, and so as you can see, the bike is still on the stand. It looks like a bike, but there's no chain on the other side. So yeah, we're pretty much done with everything except I need to put the secondary drive chain on. I installed the longer axle, so yeah, I'm gonna have to just buy another longer axle or something from Elect Cycles where I get them from. So. But yeah, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks a little goofy with the long swing arm. To tell you the truth, I'm not really excited about the extended swing arm. I didn't really want an extended swing arm. All I wanted was a stronger swing arm, guys. So it looks a little goofy with this swing arm. It definitely looks it looks smaller. So I'm gonna say it's skinnier but longer type of thing. All right. Or the other one was like it's kind of beefier looking. But I have to say, it looks more like a motorcycle swing arm, guys. All right, look at this swing arm here. Doesn't it look kind of like that, right? Sort of, kind of. I have to say the bolts that hold it together don't make it look very nice. It just adds more bolts to the side of your bike. There's so many bolts on the side of the light beam now. All right, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the fitment, how everything fit and everything. Everything looks good so far. We'll see how the installing the chain is. That's the part spin right there so far. So all we got to do is install the chain, and then we're done. So hopefully the chain install works pretty good. Like I mentioned, this Supermoto slider can't go too far forward. All right, we've only got, maybe we can only go 5 millimeters more forward. Okay, and then yeah, the brake line looks fine. All right, where it's at right now, where it is on the swing arm, it looks fine. So it would be in my best interest, oh, I don't know, man, to make it as tight as possible, I guess. Yeah, but if the looser it gets, the tighter this thing is gonna get, and I don't like that. Okay, right now it's fine. You know, it'll get looser as the suspension goes up. So same thing with this guy. All right. That's how tight it is. I can still tighten it a little more, or I can loosen it a little more if I wanted to. I'm going to give that thing a whirl. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of ugly, guys. That's the theme. It's just kind of ugly. It's kind of ugly. It kind of blocks my red swing arm accents and all that stuff. But it looks sweet, man. It looks pretty nice with the KO motor. It matches the red on the KO motor, obviously, because they're both KO. So. All right, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with everything that happened today. I replaced more things than I thought I would. All right, I wound up replacing the swing arm axle and the axle, the wheel axle. So yeah. Okay, so anyway, I'm kind of done for tonight. I worked 7 hours on this, guys. I started at 3:30 and then I didn't stop until now, like 10:30. All right, and I'm not done yet. Well, we gotta, the last 5% is the chain, and then we'll be done. And maybe we can take it out for a spin. That's what I want to say. But okay, so yeah, I mean, that's me working on it, and then you know, shooting videos and stuff, and inspecting stuff. All right. So anyway, the Suron Lightbee rear end rebuild party will recommence tomorrow. Okay, so all I gotta do is install a chain. But like, yeah, man, it's cold and dark, and I'm getting hungry, and I want to do some other stuff tonight, man. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call that it for tonight. All right, I'm just gonna take a break, but pretty much the majority of the work is done already. All right, I can't go ride it out there anyways. It's, you know, it's dark and cold, so I don't really want to ride it. Okay, so anyway, see you guys tomorrow.